700.
This report is sponsored by the Our American Stories podcast.
Starting off with sunshine, temperatures today reaching into the upper 80s. Clouds will increase throughout the day with a good chance for showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 3 o'clock. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burse.
If I told you Pepsi promised their customers a fighter jet, you probably wouldn't believe me. But one man did, and sued when he didn't get it. Be sure to listen to this week's edition of Our American Stories on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter, mornings at 10. Streaming live on our free iHeart radio app and at khow.com.
ABC News, I'm Marina Roy. The Justice Department facing a deadline today to file its proposed redactions of the affidavit used in the FBI search of former President Trump's home. The school district police chief in Uvalde, Texas, is out of a job. The school board voted unanimously last night to fire him, 3 months after the school shooting that left 19 fourth graders and 2 of their teachers dead. 2,000 fewer people filed first-time unemployment benefits last week, and the Commerce Department says the gross domestic product was down 0.6% in the second quarter, but that's less than the government had predicted. And home prices, they're dropping.
Home prices are still up 14.3% from a year ago. That is more than 3 times the historical annual price growth, but most of the gains happened in the first 5 months of this year. That was before mortgage rates spiked, and according to Black Knight, more price drops are likely on the horizon.
ABC Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis. This is ABC News. More cases of monkeypox in kids, 3 in Georgia. Here's ABC's Steve Osinsami.
It's hard to say if this is the first case of a child who was sick in school with monkeypox, because there have been other cases where schools haven't identified if the person who was sick was a teacher or a student. The CDC reports that at least 13 children across 9 states and jurisdictions have been diagnosed with monkeypox.
And one school in Missouri bringing back the paddle.
The Cassville School District in southwest Missouri near the Arkansas border trying a new approach to disciplining students, spanking them. The school superintendent says parents have asked, why can't you paddle my child? Now school staffers can. Parents given a permission form for them to opt in, allowing up to 3 paddle swats at reasonable physical force, but without bodily injury or harm. More than a century ago, corporal punishment in schools was the norm, but in 1867, New Jersey became the first state to ban the practice. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Rena Roy, ABC News.
Driving happy with Febreze car.
You're driving home when, oh no, you hit the longest red light in town. What's this? You're smiling because your car smells amazing. You just installed a Febreze car vent clip. Ha ha! 5 weeks ago, with up to 40 days of consistent Febreze scent, those lights can stay red for as long as they'd like.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus special financing. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
The new police chief for RTD is aware of the work that needs to be done to restore safety in the system. Dr. Joel Fitzgerald says he believes making RTD officers more visible will help cut down on criminal activity, but he also doesn't want to over-criminalize people who need help.
We have some overt drug usage. We have unhoused communities that we have to proactively work with to ensure that they connect with the services that are available to them.
Fitzgerald also said that another priority is fair enforcement. The Republican candidate seeking to unseat Senator Michael Bennet this fall is not a fan of President Biden's student debt relief plan. Joe O'Dea says that the plan is more like a tax that transfers that debt to hardworking people in Colorado. He also says the plan will fuel additional inflation and increase the national debt. Bennett favors the plan, saying that it will provide benefits to student loan holders who are trapped in a broken system. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Panera.
Crash on the highway up in the Commerce City Drive, westbound 270 up near Vasquez. Looks like lanes have opened. Westbound 270 crowded from I-70 to Vasquez. I-25 southbound 25 near 58th Avenue is a broken down camper. It's been cleared to the shoulder there, still causing a little bit of a delay as you head on into the downtown area. Rest of the trouble off highway, crash 35th and Federal, Arapahoe Road in Potomac, and a problem at 72nd and Vasquez. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, increasing clouds this afternoon. Slight chance for isolated thunderstorms with a high of 89. 86 tomorrow, currently 69 degrees. Impacting your drive to work, Susan Phelan, 630 KHOW.
They say to never mess with the classics, but Panera did that and more with their new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. Pan-seared chicken, a secret garlic aioli recipe, Parmesan crisps, and pickled chips all on a buttery brioche roll. Try one for only a $1 delivery fee when you order on their app. Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion. Trust me, I know about joint pain.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about chronic joint pain and exciting new regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics.
I know what it's like to fight through pain, but now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced...
Okay.
arthritis or injury, pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or lower back. Don't assume steroids, pain meds, and surgery are your only options. Regenerative, restorative, natural solutions are now available.
Don't let your joint pain keep you from doing the things you love.
Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation and learn how regenerative medicine can repair and restore damaged joint tissue.
Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
For your back, neck, and joint pain, visit SpineOne.com for a same-day appointment now. That's SpineOne.com.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
President Biden saddles taxpayers with student loan debt forgiveness, and Trafalgar shows Heidi Ganahl and Joe O'Dea within striking distance of their Democratic opponents. Christy Burton Brown breaks it all down, filling in for Dan, starting at 4 right here on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are fighting for you, solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com, and I mean it. I take it every day for pain, inflammation, anxiety. It's great for travel. They even have pet products for dogs and horses, and they have cosmetics with anti-inflammatory properties. It's Panacea Life in Golden. You can buy it right here on the site, RealCBDThatWorks.com. Tom and the promo code gets you 30% off, which is incredible. 30% off. Now, Cliff Enton, attorney at law, we wanted to ask you a question. And A-Rod, I think you're in my ear. I don't know if you mean to be, if you need to talk to me, but I hear you. Oh, Cliff's not ready. Oh, thank you for telling me that. Cliff's not ready. Let me know when he's ready. He's ready. Okay, Cliff Enton, attorney at law, we're bringing up for a question we had on employment law, basically, and we'll bring up Jerry. Cliff Enton, by the way, does workers' compensation. He also knows about federal workers' comp, which is pretty complicated. He also knows about personal injury, and we get him on to talk about all those things from time to time. And Cliff Enton, Enton Law. Let's go to Jerry. Now, Jerry, do you want to basically, well, I can sum it up. I've been working on the railroad, and you didn't want to name the railroad, but you said you feel they're conspiring against you because you were fired after being injured on the job. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. How long after you got injured were you fired?
Oh, about 3 months.
Okay, and during that 3 months, had you filed a claim with the Federal Employee Liability Act or whatever you have there covering you?
No, not at that time. I I acquired attorneys, legal representation, and...
But here's what I don't understand. Why does someone get injured and hire an attorney right away? Do you have unemployment there? I'm a workers' comp there.
No, they don't have workers' comp.
Okay, so you hired attorneys. I don't know why you hired attorneys. You were there for 3 months, then they fired you. Is that right? Were you out of work for that 3 months?
Yes, I was injured. I was trying to recover from injuries. But
what was the nature of your injury?
I had a knee injury and back injuries.
Okay, now I'd like to go to Cliff Enton. And I know you have a lot of details, Jerry, but I wanted to get just the gist of it. I want to ask Cliff a general question. Cliff, the railroad, what kind of unemployment do railroads have? He said it's different.
You know, Tom, it's really not within my area of expertise. That's a whole, railroad, that's covered under a separate act.
Right. And it's the Federal Employee Liability Act.
Well, it depends, I guess, what kind of railroad it is, too. If you're up in Georgetown taking a little loop train, it's a railroad. But it's, I know there's specific federal laws that govern injuries to railway workers. There's federal work comp, there's state work comp. But I can tell you one thing that overrides it all, no matter which law it's under, is under federal law that applies to state and federal law. They cannot engage in what's called retaliatory discharge.
Okay, so in other words, no matter what it is, state comp, federal comp, FELA, which is Federal Employee Liability, they can't fire you for being injured.
Well, they can, but they can be subject to liability for that under OSHA. You're not allowed to retaliate against somebody because they were injured on the job.
That's exactly what they did.
Now, what does you say you hired attorneys? What do they say?
Well, I went through an entire process under FELA and had 2 trials here in Texas under FELA.
So you already went to court. You didn't tell us that yesterday. I'm sorry. So what happened? What happened in court?
Well, the first trial, the railroad appealed to the state Supreme Court, and they got that jury verdict.
Well, first of all, hold on. What did they appeal? You didn't even tell us what the verdict was.
Well, the verdict was in my favor. They appealed.
Okay, for how much? How much were you granted?
$1.82 million.
Okay, wow. And they appealed, and what happened?
The state Supreme Court overturned that verdict. There was a second trial held.
And what did they say when they overturned it? Did they say it has to go back for another trial?
That's correct, yes.
And so you went to a second trial, and then what happened?
I got another major verdict in my favor, not as...
and then what happened?
And rather than pay out on the verdict, there was a confidential settlement agreement that I signed recently.
Okay. And that was a confidential settlement agreement which was less than the verdict?
Yes.
In exchange for not appealing, right?
That's correct.
Okay, now, in that confidential agreement, did they also say you could never sue them again?
You know, there's a lot of language in there where I think they were trying to protect themselves from...
Did they fire you after that or during this?
They fired me in 2011.
In 2011, and this court case has been going on since then?
That's correct, sir, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
Cliff.
you need to contact your attorney.
Cliff, however, Cliff, hold on.
Yeah.
Even if they fired him in 2011, what statute of limitations has not expired, for God's sakes?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Okay,
I mean,
so he can't do anything about an unjust fire. Why are you here's what I don't understand. And by the way, Cliff, I won't even waste any more of your time. I just want to say Cliff Enton, federal, state unemployment, workers' comp, federal and state workers' comp, plus he does personal injury 303-333-2222. Okay, Jerry, I want to ask a question. You were granted, you got a settlement, you signed a settlement. Why after 12 years or 11 years are you coming after them for firing you?
Well, what my concern is the union and what they've done, and the railroad in conspiring to extinguish my career of 37 years.
How did they conspire to extinguish your career? Get right to what they did.
Well, under the collective bargaining agreement, there were 2 clauses in that agreement that inured to my benefit.
But are you going back to 2011?
Well, this hearing, it was a public law board hearing held in 2012. I was advised of the outcome in 2013.
Okay. You're still beyond the statute of limitations. So, Jerry, listen, man. As much as you...
Exactly.
Well, you are. You are, Jerry. Can you... Okay, then get an attorney to take your case. Jerry, I'm not trying to argue with you. You're not going to get an attorney to take a case past 7 years. You're not going to do it.
These union people are fiduciaries. Under Texas law, fiduciary obligations are required, and under Texas law, the statute of limitation is 10 years.
Okay. Have you talked to attorneys about this, Jerry?
I'm trying to find an attorney.
You know why you can't? I'll tell you why you can't. Too much time. They're not going to reconstruct this. You can get an attorney. You won't get an attorney on contingency. That's going to be the problem. You're not going to get an attorney on contingency. I understand that. Now, is this case in Texas?
Yes.
Okay. So, here's the problem you have. You have too much passage of time, even though you think you have a legit case. And how did they extinguish your career? How? Did they blackball you so you can't work anymore?
They presented their submissions before a public law board, which is administered by the National Mediation Board of the federal government.
And what did they do?
Well, they lied in their submissions, and I was able to acquire their submissions only recently.
Okay.
Within the
Jerry,
past year.
There are some law. I don't know what to tell you. Honest to God, we can't help you though. Okay, there's too much time. If you're looking to find an attorney, you're not going to find an attorney to take and resurrect a case more than 7 years old and try to prove conspiracy. You're not going to do it. I wish I could tell you, oh yeah, call this firm or call that firm. The sad fact is you're not going to find an attorney. I really wish you well, okay? But it's the truth, Jerry. You're really wasting time. You're wasting time. I hate to tell you this, man. And the proof is you can't find an attorney. If an attorney smells money and smells a good case, they'll take it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have more coming right up.
Home buyers, we've got great.
Hey,
hey, Jerry,
A-Rod.
I hope that helps you.
I'd like to experiment with somebody.
There's not much
I know when I give the phone
to
number
help.
out,
I mean, we
you
brought
know
Cliff
to put
on,
someone. Oh wait, you're not
so,
putting people on hold, are you?
I mean, just basically at this point,
Oh, okay.
Tom just encourages you.
And
if
you do it when
wanna
I give out the phone number.
try to
Another
get,
way I want to
another
clue
lawyer,
you,
but
and
he
I think
doesn't think that you're
if
gonna
I
do it
thank
on
someone for the
contingency.
call. Hey man, thanks for the call, but blah 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 blah. Thanks for the call can be a cue as well. Thanks.
I can give you the name of Cliff, but I don't think he can practice in Texas.
I got to do. Remember, give me audio right before my spot.
Yeah. No, he's actually a workman's compensation attorney. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Thanks. Bye.
I wish this guy, I mean, I didn't realize this case went back that far.
The art of granite, and more. Right now, quartz is not. He has all of the latest colors. He is fabricating quartz daily. The material is wholesale to you. Even the tear out and haul away is free. And the bathroom is free when you have the kitchen done. You can get prices on the phone. Just give him a call. Give him some measurements, send him a photo. Check. Don't miss out on his special deals. TheArtOfGranite.com. 303-386-5919. That's 386-5919.
This is an important notice to consumers facing...
Am I going to, do I have a spot coming up? Oh, okay.
Come on, Tom, I don't know. Because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the...
Are you Jarish? Jaris? Jaris.
Yeah.
Jaris.
Just like Paris with the J.
Okay, thank you for saying that. Gary and Jaris. And Joshua was the one on the phone, right? So Joshua's the son-in-law. Is your daughter in the business?
Well, I have 3 daughters.
But Josh's wife?
No. I have another daughter who's, she works with us now, but she's phasing out. We've hired a new guy to take her place. Because she's got a better opportunity that she can do from home. So she doesn't want to work full-time, and we need somebody full-time. So she does all the customer service, client relations stuff. So.
Aren't my spots usually up in front of the break? Okay. What juice is that? Hey, I want to tell you about Blake Harris Law, and it's really important to know for estate planning. In fact, I have RP Center of the Rockies here. We'll talk about retirement. A good part of retirement is making sure your estate plan is in order, and Blake Harris Law will answer all of your questions free of charge. 833-ASK-BLAKE. Anything to do with wills, trusts, with probate, with avoiding probate, with beneficiaries' deeds, payable on death certificates, and making beneficiaries for all of your assets. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. Now I want to mention something. Okay. Blake Harris.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't use Blake, of course. He's finishing out his contract, which is fine. He's a great guy. But I think that it's going to be better.
He's moving, or has moved.
Dan McKenzie's moving. Everybody. Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. WaterPros.net gets you the best drinking water at the lowest prices ever. I don't care where you go, under $1,000 fully installed at your sink, triple filter, reverse osmosis, waterpros.net. I stand behind them. I love their system. 303-862-5554. Don't drink tap water, I'm telling you that. Waterpros.net. Okay. I mentioned I have RP Center of the Rockies on. We'll talk to them in a minute here. They're helping me with my retirement plan. Now, people confuse a retirement plan with retirement components. You see, I have retirement components. I have a 401k. Years ago, I did an IRA. I have a pension plan that I started for my company, Troubleshooter Network. But that's not a retirement plan. What do you do with that? We'll talk about that coming up. Now, I think Jana wants to talk about renters' rights, and we have so many questions on renters' rights. It's one of the top 5 problems over the last year. Jana, what's going on with you, Jana?
Hi, Tom. Thank you for having me today.
What's going on?
I just want to tell you that my dad's a huge fan, and he recommended that I call in today, so just wanted to say that.
Okay, I hope I can help you now after all of that. Oh, my goodness, what's going on?
Yeah, so it's been a couple, coming up on 60 days that I've been out of my house. My lease was up. I rented a home, and I just want to know, like, what my rights are as getting my deposit back.
Okay, did you say you've been out 60? Okay, the end of the lease, has it been 60 days from the end of the lease?
It's almost been 60 days, so
okay.
Here on the 1st will be 60 days.
Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. Under state law, landlords have to give you either your deposit back or an explanation as to why they're not returning some or all of it. And they have to do that by law within 30 days with no written clause to the exception. However, if your lease extends it, it can be extended to 60 days. So it's either 30 days or 60 days. But by no means can a landlord go beyond 60 days. So what does that mean? The law says on the 60th day, you write them a demand letter for your deposit. And if they don't return it, post haste, I don't know if there's a regular defined time limit, but if they don't return it, you can sue them in small claims court for triple. It's called treble damages in the law. So you wait till the 1st and then you make a demand letter. But I would give them, I would write them a demand letter and I would give them 5 days from the time they get that letter. And then I would sue them in small claims.
Okay, and would you recommend I send that through the mail, or would an email be acceptable as well?
Okay, and this is me talking. If I was doing it, I'd do both.
Okay.
And because it's I would give them written notice both ways, and I would just say if I don't get it within 5 days, I would also quote the state law. So you got to Google it. Let me see, Colorado law on security deposits, and I don't want to bore everyone waiting for this, but let's just see if it comes up. Yeah, you'll find it. Yep, you'll find it. I just put Colorado law on security deposits. Just make sure you do it properly. That's all. They have to give it back, and it's pretty easy. Under law, here's what it says. A landlord must return a tenant's security deposit within 1 month unless the lease specifies a longer period which cannot exceed 60 days. And I'll tell you exactly where I got it is www.nolo, N-O-L-O, and I don't even know what that means, but nolo.com, and you click on it. It also says how to go about collecting. So get your security deposit back. You click on that link, and it gives you the steps, okay? And go through it. It's really good. So don't confuse they say don't confuse a deposit with last month's rent, and know what you're entitled to, and then how to make the demand. So do that, okay? And you'll be in good shape. And then let me know. We're not done. You let me know if you don't get help, okay? And we'll help you. 303-713-TALK, 55. Okay, so Sarah. And by the way, anyone can call. We're going to be discussing retirement plans as opposed to retirement elements. And you're welcome to call. By the way, Sarah has a problem with an umbrella. What the heck? Sarah, what's going on with you?
So, hi, Tom.
Hi.
I was in a parking lot of a restaurant, and their patio umbrella got lifted up by the wind, and it, slammed deep into my vehicle, causing $4,000 of damage. I had the estimate done and everything. So I've been trying to get a hold of this company to, take care of it because it is their property.
Yeah.
And they're just refusing to pay. They say I have to go through my own insurance.
Now, how
But
did
my
it
own
happen?
insurance-
Tell me exactly how it happened.
Well, I was sitting there inside the store eating. and
Inside,
a
you
big
okay?
gust
You
of
were
wind
you
came.
were inside the store, and what happened? And that's a Chipotle, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what
A
happened?
big gust of wind came. They didn't have their umbrellas down. They were lifted. A big gust of wind came and took the umbrella out and just pushed it across the parking lot.
And where was
when it
the
hit my
umbrella?
car. On their patio, their outdoor patio.
And where was your car?
It was in the parking lot, and the parking lot's kind of adjacent to the patio.
Was it their parking lot?
It was their parking lot.
It was only for Chipotle.
Well, no, there's a Chase bank and all, some other facilities. But I did a police report instantly, and they did say that was their parking lot because they do have signs, Chipotle
Okay.
parking only.
I'm going to tell you some bad news. They're not necessarily liable for an act of God unless they were negligent. Now, before you say, yes, they were negligent, the umbrella, was it secured in any way, shape, or form?
Well, they have it on this little metal stand, but there's no holes to hold it in. It just kind of just sits there.
Wait a minute. I know what an umbrella stand looks like. It doesn't go down into the stand?
Yeah, it just kind of sits there. There's no screws or nothing to hold it tight. It just plops right in it.
Okay. It's going to be very fact specific. Let me tell you what negligent would be. Leaving it open with just in the hole of the table. If they secured that in a reasonable way and it was an unreasonable gust, you can't hold them responsible. I mean, you can, but they're not going to pay. I think you're going to have a problem. I just think you're going to have a problem. I mean, only because you have to prove negligence. And if they're not volunteering, that means you're going to have to prove it. And I'm not sure you can. I mean, tell me what they did wrong. That's the part that you'll be asked if you took them to small claims court. What did they do wrong?
Basically, they didn't close the umbrellas when it was a lot of wind.
Okay,
And
that
the
could be.
second
Hold
one,
on, hold on. That could be if truly it was windy and not a gust of wind. You know what I'm saying? You could assert that they were negligent. Did you put in a claim with the store?
I did multiple times, and they keep telling me they'll call me back, and I still haven't got a call back.
Okay.
I did a police report, all that.
Then what
stuff.
you should do, since you've documented it, then I think the next step would be small claims court. Easily. I mean, because if we call them, they're going to say we're not responsible. If you take them to small claims court, they're going to turn it into their insurance rather than show up. You're going to allege it was not secured and it was up and should have been down in the wind and it's negligent. That's what you're going to assert, and you're going to ask for the money to fix the car. How much damage?
Oh, the estimate was just about $4,000.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Holy cow. Okay, yeah, you can't just forget about this. You cannot forget about this. I totally agree with you on this one. So, but they're not going to do it voluntarily, okay? And if you do this and get a judgment, we'll tell you how to. You go online, download the form, fill it out. It's going to be easy, and you have them served. You can't do it, but anyone can walk in that store and serve them. 303-713-8255, and let me know what happens. Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, will do free market valuations of your home. So many people are wondering what my house sell for. Frank will tell you, and he will tell you based on actual facts and figures, not his opinion. So you'll know what to look forward to or whether to list or not with no obligation. 303-920-1622. Is this going to be toward the end of the break? Okay, thanks.
Is there a reason she just wouldn't file the claim and let the insurance company go after the money? Because they will.
Oh, if she has that coverage, you know what? That was a good one. You're right, because that wouldn't be collision. That would be comprehensive, and most people have comprehensive. I should have mentioned that. That's a good idea. And it wouldn't be something they charge her with.
Yeah, if they see that it's someone else's fault, they're going to go after.
That's right.
Post haste, and they won't screw around. Bathroom down here?
Yeah.
Down there to the left, yeah.
You know, when you have an insult to your property, and I don't mean somebody calling it ugly, I'm talking about a broken pipe, a fire, a flood, maybe unattended death, or black mold, asbestos, whatever it is, you need professionals. And even though your insurance is paying, don't let them pick the company, and don't pick the wrong company, because you'll be stuck with the bill. Insurance only pays once. You need someone with all the right certifications, like from the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration, and EPA certifications for asbestos, black mold, and more. You need people who know what they're doing. American Restoration, 24/7. Let me tell you how serious I am about this. Most restoration companies are liars, cheats, and ripoffs. I hate to say that. That's the industry. You can trust Rock and his crew at American Restoration to mitigate dangerous situations immediately, to get rid of dangerous substances, and to rebuild as little or as much as you want them to. 8337-AMREST. 8337-AM-REST. Or online, amrest247.com. saw nothing. This is like crazy. Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome. Keep your calls coming at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies will have some important tips on what to do with qualified plans and retirement elements to make a retirement plan. Now, Maria, welcome to the show. What's going on, Maria?
Hi.
Hi, what's going on with you?
Well, I have an issue. My mother passed away from COVID a little over a year ago, and she left an accidental death insurance. And my brother and I had looked into it prior to submitting any paperwork to the insurance company, and we had found an article that said that if it was due to COVID, it was considered accidental death.
It's not true. It's not true.
It's not? Okay.
No, not according to the courts, and not according to attorneys, and not according to the policies themselves. They specifically mention illness. So I don't know what you're reading, and I hate to burst your bubble on it. I really do, because you were probably depending on it. But it's just not.
Yeah.
Now, what article did you read that asked you that?
It was on Google. I don't remember. To be honest, I don't remember, but we did read it, and we both meant to make a copy of it.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of forgot, and now you think we can find it. We can't find that article anywhere.
Well, it really is not true. I really wish it was true. Okay. Now, this different disability insurance might be different, not accidental, but disability, it may cover it. Life insurance is covered. Is COVID disabling? Sometimes it is, and if you can get a doctor to say it. Now, here's an article that's done really well by a law firm, and it says, although life insurance benefits are payable, accidental death insurance generally does not cover any illness of any kind, including COVID-19. It's not just COVID-19. Forever they've been excluding disease. Some workers, however, have been eligible for workers' compensation and other kinds of insurance if they got it on the job, first responders. So also disability. There are several issues that are covered from COVID that are disability, but you must make the direct connection. Okay, so really there, and then what about if you're just quarantined because of the infection? You would not be entitled to disability benefits for just the quarantine and the illness, only if you were left with lingering symptoms or things that, you know, a disability, in other words, something people call, and I hesitate, but people call it long COVID, then that would be covered under disability. And I wish I had better news for you, Maria. And thanks for calling.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
You just kind of clarified everything for me.
And again, you might want to check, but I've never heard of one policy paying out. 303-713-8255, Lawrence. What's going on, Lawrence? This sounds pretty dang serious, man. What is happening?
It is pretty serious. I got scammed out of $40,000 on August 8th.
Wait a minute. $40,000?
Yes.
Okay, I want to, obviously, now I just want you to know we have been successful with some scams, not all of them. Let's talk about it. What happened?
I got an email from what I thought was the Geek Squad saying that they were going to take $359.99 out of my checking account. And they told me I could call this number 812.
Now, why were they, hold on, why were they taking money out?
They said I had bought some appliances or something like this. It was for a premium software support. And I called them and said, I don't know anything about this.
How much were they going to withdraw?
$359.99.
They wanted you to call on purpose. Now, let me guess the rest. You called them. You called the number in the email, right?
Yes, sir.
And you said, hey, I never made a purchase. And they said, well, let us go into your account and make a credit.
That is correct.
And when they went into your bank account, they took 40 grand.
What happened was my wife's in a nursing home for dementia. And I have a separate account, and I was told them to put it in this separate account number. They got into my accounts at USAA, and they transferred $50,000 out of my savings account, and I was able to get $10,000 back.
How were you able to get $10,000 back? Hold on. I want to hear about it. I want to take a break. Man, this is really important for other people to hear. Hang on, please, Lawrence. More coming up. This is so sad, guys. Oh. Thank you. Where have all the celebrities gone pushing mortgage companies? Huh? I'll tell you where. They're dried up, and I'll tell you why, because most mortgage companies aren't going to be advertising much longer because they think the market doesn't pay enough. You see, Ideal Home Loans is still here, still strong, still your local lender. They didn't move their corporate headquarters. They didn't hire high-priced celebrities. They didn't brag about being the only mortgage company around because they know they're here for the long run. They find loans, even now. Loans are necessary, and they find loans for people and refinancing for people, and you can depend on them. Rates are still historically low, and if you're refinancing high-interest debt of credit cards and stuff like that, you need to do it. Or if you're looking to buy a house, they even have a cash buyer program to put a cash contract in with their name in order to get your contract to the top. Call them. They're still here, still strong, still for Colorado, still in Colorado. 303-867-7000, 867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. All right. Blake Harris Law, it doesn't matter where you are. He can do everything by phone, email, Zoom. If you need a will, a trust, a special needs trust, you're facing probate, you need help with any estate matter, he can handle it, and he'll answer your questions free of charge, and then everything can be done remotely, including signing documents. 833-ASK-BLAKE. The answers are free, and then flat rate pricing for everything he does. 833-ASK-BLAKE. All right, guys, let's see. Okay. And this is too bad. This guy, 40 grand. Oh my God. That's too bad. All right. Thank you. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I want to ask Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies something real quick, either Gary or Jairus. Of all your clients, have you ever heard about any seniors or any people being scammed out of money in their account for giving access to their account? Have you heard of that or not in your practice?
Yeah, we see that occasionally.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. You got it.
We see that occasionally, but not often. The caution we always give is don't ever give personal information over the phone. Most of the financial institutions will not call you. Now, if you call them, that's a different story, but those institutions will not initiate calls to you because they do that for security reasons.
Now, I want to ask Lawrence. Lawrence, okay. The very first thing, you called them and said, I never did this. What was
Correct.
the very next thing they did after you called the number?
They said, give me a minute. They came back and said, you never used this. We're going to refund your $359 that you initially paid back, I guess, paid a couple of years ago or whatever. And I've had some, my wife's in a nursing home, like I said. Was thinking about moving her because of certain things.
Okay. Yeah, and by the way, I understand, and we want to help you, and I understand you're in a bad way right now, especially with your wife away. But let's hear just the facts about this call. They said they would refund the money, then what?
Then they sent me an email, and they had me start to fill out the emails, and I gave it only the
And
account number.
what did you fill out in the email?
Just my name, my email, and the account number where that money was supposed to go back to.
And that's all you gave them?
That's it. Then they took over my computer, and I did not realize it. I'm 71 years old.
Hold on a second. How did they take over your computer?
Don't ask me. I don't know, sir. I'm not that computer lit, and I can't answer that question.
Are you sure they took over your computer, or did they just access it with the information you gave them?
They could have done that, too. I don't know the answer. I'm not.
How much info did you give them in that email?
All I gave them was my email, the routing number of the bank, and my one account. My only one account.
Okay. You see, the routing number and account is all they need to steal from you.
Well, that account did not have the money in it. I gave my checking account routing, not my savings account routing. I never.
Then how did they get? Hold on. Here's what happened. I think what happened is you had the other account in the same bank, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is something everyone needs to know. If you have a checking and a savings account at the same bank, and you give access to one account, like you did, and there's not enough money in that account to cover an ACH, the bank will go into your other account under a cross-collateralization agreement. This is really important. And under cross-collateralization, they will take any money they need to make good on that withdrawal, whether it's an ACH or a check. It's called a cross-collateralization agreement. And every bank has one. If you have more than one account at a bank, beware. In fact, you should also beware if those accounts are in different business names, because you could have one business with a partner and another business with another partner, yet your bank doesn't care. Your bank will take whatever account you're on and take the money from it and put it in another account. Don't ever, ever, ever allow a bank to do that if they will not allow you to void the cross-collateralization agreement. You need to get out of that bank and never have more than one account. A-Rod, by my count, should we be out by now? Okay, we're going to. All right. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. We'll come back to you, though, and see if we can still help you, Lawrence, all right? Hang on. I'm Tom Martino. Remember, 303-713-8255. 303-713-8255. Call now. This is so sad.
I can't understand why a bank.
In your wallet, it's time to sell your car to the sharpest rides, no matter the year, make, or mileage. We will buy your car for cash and give you a fair professional appraisal. With every vehicle sold, the sharpest rides will make a donation to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Walk out with cash in your pocket and a change made in the community. Don't have time to come in? Call us and ask DJ for a remote appraisal. Dial 303-9343-410 today.
Now's the time to find your next Glock pistol at Triple J Armory. Head into Triple J Armory this Saturday and demo every Glock model free of charge on the range, including ammo. Just visit our range desk and sign a participation waiver. Ready to buy? Get 10% off all in-store Glock pistols and enter to win a free Glock. You'll get 5 entries with any Glock purchase, or 10 if you sign up for a range membership at Triple J Armory, 311 East County Line Road, A6 in Littleton, located off C470 and Broadway.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter, mornings at 10. Streaming live on our free iHeart radio app and at khow.com.
ABC News, I'm Stephanie Ramos. The Justice Department appears to have filed its proposed redactions to the affidavit supporting the search warrant executed at former President Trump's Florida estate. ABC's Catherine Falder says it's the next step before a judge considers what should be made public.
The judge said he'll make a decision on whether to have a private hearing with DOJ or whether he will go through the affidavit himself and submit his own redactions. But we'll most likely see more deadlines and then some sort of roadmap that the judge will lay out.
CENTCOM officials say U.S. forces killed Iran-backed militants in northeast Syria and destroyed 7 enemy rocket launchers. It's the latest strikes in response to attacks on U.S. personnel. New concerns in Ukraine, where Russian forces have control over Europe's largest nuclear plant. Ukraine's nuclear regulator is reporting all 6 reactors at the facility are shut down. 2 of those reactors are active. This is ABC News. More asylum seekers are arriving in New York City today from Texas. Governor Greg Abbott has been busing migrants who have crossed the border. New York City Commissioner of Immigrant Affairs Manuel Castro.
It worries us the way that Governor Abbott is politicizing the situation. He's weaponizing asylum seekers. It is shameful.
Pfizer is getting closer to approval for a vaccine for a respiratory virus called RSV.
According to Pfizer's data, the company's vaccine was 86% effective in preventing lower respiratory tract illness in adults 60 and older. Each year, RSV kills about 14,000 adults who are 65 and older. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Another reason to get a good night's sleep. A new study out of Berkeley finds not getting enough sleep makes you more selfish. Researchers found even losing just an hour of sleep was enough to decrease your desire to help others. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
Now, local businesses can get closer to every customer in their city with fast, affordable shipping. Introducing USPS Connect Local. You want speed? We deliver same or next day. You want savings? We give you supplies at a flat rate. You want less legwork? We do free pickups. Move your local business forward with the United States Postal Service. Let's connect at USPSconnect.com/local. Specific markets. Restrictions apply. Same day or next day delivery expected but not guaranteed with entry close to final destination.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy. Crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken. There's really nothing like it.
Start your day with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit, available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
KHOW News Time, 11:03.
On the ballot this fall for Douglas County voters will be a mill levy override. The $60 million would be used to boost pay, which Superintendent Aaron Kane says is currently not competitive.
Our local mill levy override provides us with about $1,000 extra per student, but our neighbors are getting about $3,000 extra or more per student.
She says that difference puts a huge gap in their budget and puts a huge gap in average.
All right. That is so, this guy, the more I think about it, I don't know what to do about him. Do they guarantee a growth on an interest rate on annuities?
Not the indexed ones.
And they're the ones.
Fixed annuity, which does guarantee it, but it's usually like 2 or 3% at the most.
And then lesser income.
Yeah.
It's better to go with an index.
Yeah, the index works better.
Historically, you'll have some years of 0, but historically they do 6, 8%.
Tom Martino, welcome. This is what we do. We solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life just a little easier. And I love Renew Home Innovations speaking about making your life easier. How about 72 months financing with no interest? Can you believe this? For a beautiful custom-made shower, never needing maintenance again, with wall resins that look like stone. Stone resin. RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000. Design your shower. Custom. And you get that. Can you believe that? 72 months. And special discounts, too, for veterans and seniors. 303-904-2000. Let's go to the phones. Now, I am heartbroken over this. And I've often said this. You don't need a gun or a knife to rob a bank. People have disagree with me on this, and it's a dirty, dark bank secret no one wants you to know. If I have your routing number and your account number, and those numbers are on every single check, I can put an ACH through to your bank and withdraw your money without your consent, without your signature, without the bank even knowing about it until you complain. Now, I'd be breaking the law, but I can do it. It requires nothing to do it. We had a guy one time disagree with us on the air about it, and we did an experiment. We took $1 out of his account and showed him we could do it. Now, listen, Lawrence made a mistake, and this mistake can be your mistake. So listen carefully. He got a notice that they were withdrawing $350 out of his account, so he got nervous, and he called him and said, wait a minute. And he called the number on the email and said, wait a minute, I didn't order this. And they said, okay, we'll refund you the money. We'll put it back in your account. Give us this information. We need the account number and the routing number and your full name and address. There they go. They have everything they need to put through an ACH. But he said, I didn't have enough money in that account. Doesn't matter. He had 2 accounts at the same bank. If you have 2 or more accounts at the same bank, you sign, without you even realizing it, something called, this is another secret no one will tell you, a cross-collateralization agreement. What it means is basically this. If you have more than one account, and one account goes negative, like someone withdraws more money than you have, they can go into any other account to balance it, any other account. Now, these are banking secrets no one wants you to know. They don't want you to be aware of the cross-collateralization agreement, because if you are aware of it, you may not keep more than one account at a bank, and they want you to keep as many accounts as possible. Remember that, folks. That's the thing you can talk about at a cocktail party later, cross-collateralization agreement. Now, here's what's funny. If you call your bank, they won't openly admit it. Call them right now. They say, oh, no, we don't do that. Because they're liars or stupid, they don't know they do it. I'm telling you, every account, even if you're on 2 accounts with 2 different partners for 2 different businesses, So, not only did he have a problem with a cross-collateralization agreement, he had a problem with the bank robbery syndrome, I call it. ACHs are bank robberies. Everyone should discontinue and should, if you don't have a bank that will allow you to stop all CH payments, all of them, unless they give a PIN number or something like that, do away with them. These are things banks do not want you to know. So what happened to Lawrence? He lost $40,000. When he called the email, they said, just fill this out, we'll put the money back in your account. Now, Lawrence, what I don't understand is how did you get, you said you managed to get $10,000 back. Is that right, sir?
Here's what happened. They transferred $50,000 into my wife's account. They had me wire $40,000 back. So I did that. But let me read one thing to you that the bank sent to me. This is very important. It says, our records indicate that the wire recall was not submitted on the 8th of August. And like it should have been, a counseling opportunity will be submitted. They're admitting right then and there, because if they had done a wire stop on the 8th of August, because it takes 24 hours to 48 hours to get that money through, they could have stopped it, and they did not do it. Now they refuse to refund my money.
Now, wait a minute, Lawrence. I don't know if I fully understand. When you gave the information to the scammers, and the scammers took the money, how did you found out before it was final?
I sent them a wire transfer because I was panicking because I had to get that money out of my wife's account. I thought it was their money, not mine. And all I wanted to do was refund their money.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So really, they are the ones who said we mistakenly put 40 grand in your account.
Should have been only $50, and they put $50,000 in my wife's account, and they said I had to wire them only $40,000.
Okay, hold on, I get it. So basically, it's not that they went in and did an ACH. You voluntarily sent them a wire.
Yes, I did. I'm not going to lie about that. I did
and you voluntarily sent them a wire thinking you were refunding an over-refund, basically.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, my God, I hope people are listening. He thought he was refunding their money, and he was really refunding his own money to them, basically.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, Tom. This is the thing that's very important.
But when did you discover, hold on, when did you discover it was a scam and asked your bank to cancel it? How long after you played?
The same day, within less than 8 hours.
Now, how did you discover it was a scam?
I called my son, who works for a government agency, and he told me, hey, Dad, this is a scam. Call USAA right away. I did. I called USAA. They told me to get out of my computer immediately, which I did. And I told them to contact Chase Bank to stop this wire fraud, to stop the wire going through. And now I have an email back from the bank, and this is what it says. This is from the bank.
Did you send a wire or an ACH?
A wire. But a wire, if you send a wire anywhere, Tom, if you send it on Monday, they don't get it till close of business.
I get it. I think now this is a whole different ball game, and I think you may have a case against your bank. Is your bank USAA?
Yes, it is. And here's what they sent me, Tom. This is what the problem is. They sent me an email, and it says, our records indicate that the wire recall was not submitted on the 8th like it should have been. This is a coaching opportunity that we will submit. I don't care about their coaching opportunity. I want my $40,000 back. If they had submitted that paperwork when they were told to, this conversation would never take place. And I called them again today. They said that they closed the case and they reopened the case, and now they're saying, well, there's nothing we can do. I said, so you're not going to give me back my $40,000? They said, no. I said, you're saying that you didn't
so
do your
you
job.
Canceled the wire.
I called them and told them to stop that wire because it was a fraud on the 8th, and they did not do it, and they have sent me a thing saying It should have been done, and it wasn't, and now it's going to be a coaching opportunity. I don't.
Why didn't they submit the cancellation?
They screwed up.
Well, and you wait. Do you have an email that says? Hold on. Do you have an email or anything in writing that says that?
Yes, I just read it to you.
I want copy. Hey, Kelly, let's get copies of this. I want to give this to Deputy Smarty Pants.
Okay.
Honest to God,
yep.
I want Deputy Smarty Pants to sink his teeth into this. I want to go after these bastards. We got to go after them, and you got to get your money. Now, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is unbelievable. I hope people are listening. More coming right up. Hang on. 303-713-TALK. So, Ideal Home Loans is here, strong, for Colorado, in Colorado. You may have noticed that a lot of mortgage companies are no longer advertising, and you may ask yourself why. Because volume went down, and that's all they cared about is volume. Seriously, rates went up, volume went down, but Ideal knows you still need loans, and they're still there to serve you. Get a free second opinion if by mistake you started with another company. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. All right, I want to tell you about this guy, David Ellis Jewelry, who's been around for 40 years. And I say 40 years of trust with DavidEllisJewelry.com, 3rd and Clayton in Cherry Creek. He'll buy your estate jewelry, your antique jewelry, your fine jewelry, your stones, your precious stones, and metals. Or he'll buy your tangled messes and old earrings and broken watches and all of that. He'll weigh it and pay it. Whatever it is you want to sell, he'll buy. That's 3rd and Clayton, David Ellis Jewelry, 303-322-8779. That's David Ellis Jewelry. Yes, sir, I did him. Hard to believe. It's funny how fast things go when you're on time.
How long does it take you to get results on your test, Tom?
Same day.
Good.
I mean, he'll know if there's something suspicious. There's something called benign fasciculation disorder. I don't know how the hell I would have gotten it. By the way, I got off of all diet soda before my other exam, all aspartame, all caffeine for weeks. Didn't make a fucking bit of difference because I thought maybe aspartame or maybe, whatever. Anyway, that didn't make a difference. Then I went and got tried different drugs. I don't take a lot of drugs, but just different ones that had a small chance of that as a side effect. Doesn't seem to make a difference. I don't have any weakness or atrophy, though. That's a great sign.
Oh, good.
No weakness or atrophy. And actually, during my surgery for my back, which was now 10 weeks ago, they run nerve, to see all over your body, and those were normal.
Good.
It's just on my mind now. So it'll be good to execute all this. So does the government, when I
throw a flag, but you've been audited before.
Yeah.
See what's going to happen. I got audited 4 years in a row, and I went in front of my CPA said, Gary, go in there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, request 4 p.m. appointment on Friday. Take a box full. Just sitting on the desk and say, where do you want to start?
So the tax returns, the tax refunds I get, or the less tax I pay, it's really weird. I mean, that would be great. More money I get to keep. So that's going to benefit me in so many ways this year, because I'm making a lot of money this year.
Yeah. Well, what'll happen next year, you'll pay a little more tax because you won't have that.
Yeah, but you said there's other shelters. What's some other stuff?
There's
The 401k is not going to do much. What else can I do? Come on, guys, be creative. Nothing, right? I want to ask you something. Can I do another pension plan? I mean that
as long
sincerely.
as you've got earned income, you can, yes.
Oh, was that stupid to say? Could I do another 10-year or 5-year retirement plan?
Something you could consider that we use on well.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I want to talk to Brent. Brent, welcome to the show. What is happening in your life, Brent? Are you there, sir?
Hello, can you hear me?
I sure can. What's going on, Brent?
Howdy, Tom. So I live down in Lamar, Colorado. We've been trying to get licensed cannabis facilities legal for the last 2 years. But I want to kind of jump to what the opposition have done recently in regards to violations against Amendment 64.
Now, let me ask you something real quick. Are you trying to get one done as an owner?
I'm not currently an owner, but I am interested in the prospect of owning. I've worked in the marijuana industry for a little over 10 years
now. So who's trying to get dispensaries licensed?
Last year, it was a group out of Pueblo who did the petitioning process.
So various people, basically various people are trying to get licensed.
Yeah, many residents and many people from outside of the city are trying to.
I think the state allows dispensaries, right? But communities still have a say-so because, for example, I don't believe you have any dispensaries in Greenwood Village, Cherry Hills, certain neighborhoods. Why? They must allow.
So,
go ahead.
So
I'm not familiar.
They can. Those local municipalities can enact moratoriums on licensing. However, they cannot prevent private usage of marijuana. So in Prowers County, as well as Lamar, Colorado, the municipality both have enacted a moratorium as of 2013, preventing licensing of businesses. However,
now wait a minute. What do you mean a moratorium? They've said basically no marijuana products at all.
Exactly, for sale.
Oh, for sale. Okay. So, but if you went outside of there, you can buy it and use it in Lamar.
Correct, and in all of Prowers County. The moratorium is just on licensed businesses. However, as far as Los Animas has dispensaries, so we can drive over 40 miles there, purchase legal recreational marijuana, bring it back to our private homes and stuff.
You mentioned something about being against a law. What is it? What are you quoting?
Right. So there was a petition circulated by some opposition for marijuana locally to amend our home rule charter, and in that amendment ordinance, they have provisions that would keep a cap at personal use or storage of 1 ounce, whereas Amendment 64 allows for up to 2 ounces of marijuana to be possessed by any person over 21 years of age.
So you're not now talking about licensing. You're talking now about private use.
Exactly. So it's moved on from the city and opposition preventing licensing to this oppositional group trying to limit our Amendment 64 constitutional rights. And they circulated an initiative petition to do so It was accepted by the city clerk, and then they collected the proper number of signatures, and it was certified by the city clerk.
Well, so right now they have actually enacted it already. They've passed it.
No, so it has to go to a vote of the people on November 8th, but it will be on the ballot at this point. They had their first reading. The city council had the first reading, and it passed on the first reading on Monday night of this week.
So I don't understand. I mean, okay, so somebody takes them to court, they'll get it struck down.
Exactly, and that's kind of what I'm calling about is this amendment to the charter directly violates our rights as given by Amendment 64.
And are they calling it a moratorium, or are they calling it a ban?
This is a charter rule, so this is what is going on the ballot is a section is to add a section to the Home Rule Charter of Lamar to prevent anyone of 21 years or age or older to possess more than 1 ounce of marijuana.
Okay, they're not
prohibit licensing in this amendment, etc.
They have enacted a charter rule on all marijuana for personal use.
Up to 1 ounce, that's correct. And it still has to pass a public vote on November 8th, but it is going to the ballot.
Okay, then your strength is in the vote, right?
Correct. I'm just looking to figure out what kind of recourse I have if it passes the vote, since that charter amendment does violate our rights per Amendment 64 of the state constitution.
Well,
So
this is where you hold on. This is where you have a conflict between state and local, just like you would local, state and federal, and the bigger government overrules.
Agreed. I'm in complete agreement with you. And so at this point, obviously, we have to wait until the vote comes through on November 8th. But I'm trying to be proactive as far as reaching out to attorneys and any other figureheads that could help us with the recourse if it does pass the vote on November 8th.
Okay, well, there are plenty of it's a terrible name for them, but there are plenty of marijuana attorneys around in Denver. Plenty.
Correct.
I mean, that's what they do. They do weed law, basically.
And so I've reached out to a few of them. I'm waiting for some calls back from a couple. A few of them said that, suing the city for a state constitutional rights violation is out of their scope of work. But I've left a message with Mark Gruskin. I've left a message with Eric Liebman of Moy White.
These are all the guys. Yeah, these are all the ones I was finding. Yes. So,
yep.
I don't have any further suggestions other than to get a weed lawyer. I mean, these are the guys that would do it. Or you go. This is really. Is this amendment? Is this amendment 64 part of the state constitution now?
Yes, it is.
Then okay. Then that is absolutely a constitutional right. I don't know how they could even. Well, how can they do that?
I completely am there with you. I don't even understand why the city.
And by the way, I'm not. By the way, giving a personal opinion on marijuana. I don't want people to get mad at me. I mean, I just say if the state passed an amendment to the Constitution, for goodness sakes, can't violate the Constitution. I mean, what if Lamar wanted to vote in slavery, for God's sakes? He can't do it.
Exactly. That's where I'm at with it too. And it blows my mind that the city clerk and city attorney even accepted the petition, let alone certified it.
You know what, Kelly, I'll tell you something. This is a great topic to get someone on from Prowers County.
Okay.
Or Lamar, the city attorney, or a PR spokesperson. I'm serious. They're a municipality. They shouldn't turn us down. This is a government, and we want somebody duly authorized to talk about this. Seriously, I think it's a good thing to talk about. Like, they're begging for a lawsuit.
Maybe the head of the city council?
Exactly.
Yeah, or someone that they designate. They are, honest to God, begging for a lawsuit. David Lane is an attorney in Denver. I don't even know if he's still practicing, really. We used to do, he used to come on the show. David Lane is an attorney at law that does nothing but constitutional law, or that's what he used to do. Wait a minute. I hope he's still around. I don't actually know. I think he's still around. David Lane is currently a partner at Kilmer, Lane, and Newman. But I don't know. No, I don't know if that's him, though. That might be a common name. For goodness sakes, we need to find the right David Lane, okay? You can do your own searching, okay? He is a civil rights attorney. Here it is. L-A-N-E, it's not L-A-Y, is one of the civil rights attorneys in Denver, and he made super lawyers, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yes, he's with Kilmer, Lane, and Newman, okay? That's in Denver. I don't have a number handy, but David Lane practices there. And you should be able to, oh, here's the number. You ready? 303-571-1000.
Okay, got it.
All right, let me know what happens. We have more coming up. That I find hard to believe.
I wonder if they're likely to vote against it or vote for it down there. That would be an interesting vote.
This is a weird one, yeah. You know, I really love Fix-It 24/7 for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, and I'll tell you why. Because they're honest and very easy to understand. $39 gets a technician to your home to find a problem, any problem. They give you a diagnosis, and that $39 will be taken off the price of the repair if you have it done. If you don't have it done, that's all you pay is the $39. I use them in my home. They've just done a furnace for me, and they did a water heater for me. That's Fix-It 24/7, fixmyhome.com, 720-526-3939. I also love QCcolorado.com. Why? Because I have a whole house fan that cools my house down, and when you have one, you'll see the difference. Oh, my goodness. You know, on many days, I don't even need AC with this, and you can use this throughout the year, even on hot days in the winter, to cool down your house and to get fresh air. You know, on those stodgy winter days, you can also use it, of course, to use your air conditioner less. That's what I do. QCcolorado.com. They have incredible financing right now at QCcolorado.com. Find out more, 303-800-3419, because if you get one done this August, you have 12 months, no interest. That's 12 months, no interest. All right, Frank Duran, the real estate man, will get you free, and I mean free market valuations of your home and analysis of what it will sell for, and he'll do it based on real market conditions right now with inflation and interest rates. No gimmicks, just plain results. He'll let you know what it will sell for, free of charge, no obligation. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Oh, great. Great. Hot damn. I don't understand this. I don't see anywhere where it gives you the right to have more than 1 ounce of marijuana. I don't see it. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, waterpros.net. I talked about the water system under $1,000 for drinking water. Now you can get the whole house softened with better laundry, better use of detergent, better skin, better health, all of that, better plumbing for under $2,000 fully installed. The whole house. That's waterpros.net. Waterpros.net. Okay, listen. We were talking about this, right? The guy calls and says, hey, Brent says, I think the city of Lamar and Prowess County, I think they are going to violate the constitutional rights of Coloradans because they're going to pass something that doesn't set well. And according to Brent, they're going to enact, they want the voters to enact a charter rule, or basically a law that says all marijuana, all people are limited to 1 ounce of marijuana. He said that'll violate Amendment 64 of the state constitution. Now, I want to mention this. I looked at, while we were on break, I looked at Amendment 64 from what I could find. And Brent, I don't see, and by the way, the mayor of Lamar called in on his own, so we're going to get to him. But Brent, I don't see anywhere where Amendment 64 guarantees possession of more than 1 ounce. It says a limited amount, and it says from your own plants, and it says also, and it talks about 3 plants, I think, and then it also says something about 1 ounce for traveling or giving as a gift. So where do you get that 1 ounce would violate your constitutional right? Where, Brent?
Governor, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So in 2019, House Bill 19-1263 actually increased that from 1 ounce to 2 ounces. So if you look up Colorado House Bill 19-1263, and it is section, give me 1 second.
Yeah, but the House bill was not an amendment. The House bill passed a state law. The House can't amend the Constitution.
So
only
only
voters can do that. So if they did pass a law increasing that to 2 ounces, that wasn't a constitutional thing. That's a legislative thing.
Okay, so Section 2 of House Bill 19-1263, subsection B, a person who possesses more than 2 ounces of marijuana but not more than 6 or not more than 3 ounces of marijuana concentrate commits a level 2 drug misdemeanor. And I'm trying to find the portion that allows up to 2 ounces. So that's just House Bill.
No, I get you and I believe you. What I'm saying is you originally said it was a violation of your constitutional rights, and it's not, from what I can read. But you're saying that the state law increased it to 2 ounces. So if Lamar limits it to 1 ounce, are they allowed to be more restrictive than state law? Let's go to Kirk. Hold on, Brent. Kirk Creston, the mayor of Lamar. Kirk, thank you for calling. What about this? Yes. What about this charter you want to, or this law you want to basically enact, or ordinance, whatever you're calling it? You want the voters to vote on it. Would it limit possession to 1 ounce?
Well, let me start off, Tom. You know, I made this phone call because there was some poor information or some bad information.
Yeah, give the right information then. Go ahead.
The right information and the correct information. So let me clear this up to start with. Similar to the constitutional amendment that he's talking about, 64, that was enacted many years ago, that was a petition-driven ballot question that was placed on the voters of the state of Colorado. Correct?
Yes.
Similar to that, we had 5 electorates within our city of Lamar who initiated a petition-driven ballot question that was successfully certified because they had enough petition questions and enough signatures and everything else to get it certified to be placed on the ballot.
Okay.
What the city council voted on this week was to go through the process of putting that on the ballot because those 5 electors successfully completed all of the requirements necessary for them to do a petition-initiated ballot question, which by our city charter is allowable. It is a requirement for us to follow through with it if it's a petition-driven, community-driven.
Okay, but with all due respect, let me ask you a question. I'm not trying to argue. I want you to answer this. What if they wanted to put on the ballot slavery?
You're correctly right. I mean, you're absolutely right. That is the question of the day, because even if the council does not approve it or agree with it, it is our charter states that we must put it on if it's a petition-driven question.
You can't violate state or federal statutes. That's the way it works. Federal is over state, state is over local when it comes to constitutional issues. So I don't understand.
Exactly.
So you guys voted in slavery. Are you telling me?
So this is a charter. So this is going to be a charter amendment. We are a home rule charter city.
I understand that. I totally agree with you. A home rule charter city cannot violate constitutional rights.
Right.
Okay.
But as you said a second ago to Mr. Bates, is it violating a constitutional
I don't
right?
know. That's the question. That part I don't know. I mean, he's claiming it doesn't.
To our attorney, in reviewing the question in the petition, we did not find any constitutional charter or changes that or decisions that would violate that within the charter.
Unless, hold on, unless the three,
attorney.
Hold on, just real quick.
I'm sorry.
Just real quick. The amendment does say that they're allowed to have a certain number of plants personally, and if they do, I'm not sure, and I'm just saying this, if it's more than an ounce, they would be in violation of your charter, but not the state.
Of our charter, but not the state, correct. And with any, just similar to, if you were to look at Amendment 64 of the state, that was in violation of the well, it was tighter than the federal. Is that correct? That's what I'm showing, correct? So if we were to go tighter than the states, that isn't a violation. But a home rule charter, in my understanding, in what I was informed by our attorneys.
No, I understand what you're saying. You can be more restrictive.
Can tighten down the regulations of the state, but can't expand upon them or above them.
That's right. In certain circumstances,
our attorneys, our 2 attorneys had reviewed when they had reviewed this question, and they felt that it was. This isn't a decision for us to do. We're following the procedures of trying to follow our charter, which clearly states that if there is a ballot question, these are the procedures we need to take.
I just want to say something about being more restrictive. I want to say something about being more restrictive, okay? If they said, for example, I understand exactly what you're saying. More restrictive means something like this. If the state says you can have 20 horses on a lot, on a 5-acre lot, and the city or somebody could say you can only have 3 or 4. You are allowed to be more restrictive, but not when it comes to constitutional issues. I mean, right. You understand, right? You understand that. Even though you have a home rule, but my question is the same as yours, or not my question, my concern. I don't know if your charter will be violating Amendment 64. And I know this, Brent, and this I know for sure. If the state says you're allowed to have 2 ounces by law, Lamar does not have to go along with it. Okay? They only have to go along with the Constitution. You muddied the water a little, Brent. You said that restricting 1 ounce of possession was violating the state constitution. And nowhere do I read that that 1 ounce I mean, they're not saying you can have less than 1 ounce. They're saying 1 ounce is the limit. And I don't see anywhere in that Amendment 64 where it allows you to have more than 1 ounce. It says a small amount, and it defines 1 ounce and 3 plants. And I don't think you can get more than 1 ounce from 3 plants. So I disagree with Brent. I don't think you're violating the Constitution. So now he's going to say you're violating state law. And then the mayor says he's allowed to be more restrictive than state law. And that's true.
Well, and I want to make sure this is very clear, Tom, that this is an electorate petition initiative.
No,
this
I
is
get
not the city of Lamar. The city.
No, I get
saying
it.
that the city of Lamar is putting this on, and the city of Lamar
It's
is
not the
supporting
city
this,
of Lamar. You're
it's
saying
all the city of Lamar. No, we are going through the process that we
Right.
need to.
Right, I get it. It was a petition. It was a
public-initiated
petition to put it on the ballot. We have to take this quick
Correct.
break. Hang on. Hold on. We'll be right back. We have so much other stuff happening here. I'm going to make up for it, though. Oh, my gosh. We got to do it. I only have an hour left. Okay, thanks. None. Good. Okay, so various people. Okay. Hold on. Is this for when? What time? 12:15, right? Yeah, got it. Lives in Lamar. Various people have petitioned city. For a ballot. See, this is not a constitutional issue. I don't think it is. I mean, I don't see where there's a... I'm not sure I should drink more of this if I'm going for a nerve test. I'm filling myself with caffeine. Damn it, this fucking thing keeps coming off. God damn it. This mouse is like... Ugh. Okay, that's great. Now it doesn't work. There it goes. Okay. Thanks. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Troy, quickly, you have a comment on the marijuana situation in Lamar. Go ahead. What is your comment?
Yeah. Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Same thing happened with gun control. Colorado had a law that prevented cities and municipalities from creating their own gun laws. And then they just changed that just within the last year. So now cities and municipalities can create their own gun laws. And I thought I heard you say they couldn't restrict your constitutional.
Right, they can't. They can't.
By them creating their own gun laws, they're opening themselves up to a really large debate on whether
and people in New York have been sued for this, and people in California have been sued for this. Thank you for your call, by the way. You're right. People have been sued over it. It goes to the Supreme Court ultimately to decide if it's against the Constitution. What they're doing in Lamar, some voters are the ones that got the petitions, okay? People went out and got the petitions to be on the, they want to amend the charter to allow no more than an ounce of marijuana. From everything I can read, that does not violate 64. It does not. It is more restrictive than the law that allows 2 ounces, but they're allowed to be more restrictive. So the mayor was correct on that, Brent. The mayor was correct. You called and said it was a violation of the Constitution. And it really, from what I can see, I'm not a constitutional lawyer, from what I can read, the constitutional amendment allows for 1 ounce for individuals or 3 plants. Brent?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, so I don't see where it's a violation of the state constitution. I do see where it would be more restrictive than the state law, but they're allowed to be more restrictive than state law.
Okay, and I'm not too proud to admit that I confused what a House bill and a constitutional law entail.
Okay, so I think that there's not much, I mean, really, there's not much we can do. And the mayor wanted to make clear, these were electorates. These were people who went out and got the petition to do this because they wanted to limit it. So, Kirk, thank you for calling in, Mayor Creston. I appreciate it. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I do, actually. You know, as I said, and as you pointed out, it was 5 electorates that introduced this to the community, and I may have personal concerns against this ballot question, and so the whole council may as well. But the bottom line is our statutes and our charter requires us to put this on because it was initiated by those electorates. Brent is concerned about the constitutional validity of it, but I think he needs to direct his focus, rather than pointing it out that it's the city running this, and focus on those 5 electorates and what their intention was and what this is going to be, and put their efforts over the next couple of months to informing our community and letting the community know how much difficulty this is going to be.
All right, Mayor Creston, thank you so much for being here. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I want to talk to you guys about retirement coming up with the Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. That's rpcenter.com, and all of your calls right after this. This mouse is just giving me a headache. Ugh. Okay, so I have a mouse. I have a trackpad, but when it's up there, I like to use down here. So. Yeah. is this? Like, I just got to figure out why this.
Apple?
Yeah.
Mac? Yeah.
Okay, it's connected. Now it's working again. Okay, it's working again. Okay, good. I got that. Okay. It just freaked out for a minute. I think arresting people for marijuana is stupid.
You would think the government had better things to do.
Okay, so
forgiveness, and Trafalgar shows Heidi Ganahl and Joe O'Dea within striking distance of their Democratic opponents. Christy Burton Brown breaks it all down, filling in for Dan, starting at 4 right here on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Here I am. Okay, I'm sorry. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by One Clear Choice Garage Doors. For all your garage door needs, whether it be a spring, an opener, a complete door, whatever you need, I've used them for years. They're great people, and all of their prices can be found right here at oneclearchoicedoors.com. Okay, so let's keep going here. Terry has a question on car insurance, and then I have questions piling up. I've been checking my texting the show and also other things, and we have it for Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. So hang on. Somebody wants to know, do credit unions have cross-collateralization agreements? Yes, they do. If you have more than one account with a credit union or a bank or any of those institutions, if you have more than one account, they usually reserve the right to go into one to balance another. So the answer is yes in most cases. Terry, you want to talk about car insurance? And if anyone else has any problems, questions, or complaints, it's 303-713-TALK. Terry, what's happening?
Well, I called in November and asked about Car Shield, and Suzanne told me, no, don't buy that. Okay. Well, now my insurance company has forwarded something called Health Car. And I'm wondering if you have heard of that and if it's a decent program.
Okay, I haven't heard of it. So what's the name of it?
Oh. Health, like the opposite of sick. Health Car.
Okay,
and it's all
listen.
one word.
I just want to tell you something, okay? Even if I haven't heard of it, I can tell you in general, they're not worth buying, these auto maintenance plans, okay? Now, I'm not talking about factory-backed extended warranties from the factory at the end of your factory warranty, not concurrent with it, but at the end. That's fine. But I still don't. But don't ever buy one when you buy the new car, no matter what it is. And I don't like third-party warranties, and I also don't like any service plan or maintenance plan on a used car. How used is your car?
Actually, it's my son's car, and he's creeping up on 150,000 miles.
Okay, then I would say absolutely not, because I'll tell you why. Okay. They don't cover normal wear and tear. They don't cover owner abuse. They don't cover lack of maintenance. I mean, there's almost nothing covered, even though they'll tell you they'll cover it. It's a bunch of garbage. I would not buy anything on an old car like that, okay? People think they're going to fool. They're going to fool the system by buying something like this and using it for a transmission. They're not going to put a transmission in $150,000. They're going to say it was worn out. You might get a few pennies toward a transmission. I just don't like any of them. That's the truth. 303-713. Okay, thank you, Terry. Listen, thank you. There is no way to fool the system. Period. No way at all. And I just can't stand when people try. When companies try to get you on board and say, oh, it's great, just like home warranties we had the other day. Don't buy a home warranty. Now, let's talk to Gary and Jairus with Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. We talked about the difference of a retirement plan, executing a plan, and we talked about elements. So an element of a retirement plan would be a SEP, which stands for self-employed individual. All right, so get to the – okay, so Jairus, then what else? Give me some other elements of a retirement plan. Elements.
All sorts. 401k, IRA, Roth IRA, Roth 401k accounts, savings accounts, brokerage accounts.
The benefit of these so-called elements of retirement plans, you have qualified and non-qualified. When people talk about qualified, and this is really retirement for dummies, I want everyone to be able to ask these questions. What does it mean when you say qualified plan?
So a qualified plan is something that qualifies under IRS codes. It's money that you have not paid taxes on, and in most cases have gotten a tax deduction by putting it into the plan.
Okay, so qualified money means you can contribute to the plan and get a write-off, basically.
So you
okay,
get to take
that's
it out
a
of
qualified
your income.
plan.
It's not taxed.
Give me an example of a non-qualified plan.
Everything else.
Okay, so overfunding life insurance, like Joe Chiano talks about with Become the Banker.
Correct. That's non-qualified money. It's money that you've already paid taxes on and you put it into an investment. And the difference between the two and the advantages of the two are a qualified plan, you get the advantage today, but you've got to pay tax on all the money later on whenever you start to take it out of the plan. So if you've got a 401k or an IRA, you deducted it off of your taxes when you put the money in, but when you take it out, guess what? It's 100% taxable when you pull it out based on whatever your tax rate is at the time.
Okay, it's 100%. The gain is taxable, or all of it?
All of it.
That's right, because you never paid tax on it.
You got it. Yep. Now, with after-tax money, you're just going to pay tax on the gains. So whatever you put in is
so
not
for
taxed.
a non-qualified plan, you pay tax on the gain.
You got it. Yep. The trick is making sure that you've got everything. You know, retirement is like you've got a big jigsaw puzzle with all these different pieces, and a lot of people don't know how to put the puzzle together correctly to have a beautiful picture. And so, so what we help people do is help them get all these jigsaw pieces put together, see if there's any that might be missing, make them a beautiful picture.
Yeah, so what I did was I took my account and I said, guys, what if I don't use you and I just take this account and I start drawing it down? And it looks like I could run out of money in 10 years. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I'd like to believe I'm going to be around longer. And the whole idea of an adequate retirement plan is not to run out of money.
That's exactly right.
I mean, that's the whole plan. All right. But do people thrive in retirement, though? Or just get by? I mean, what is really the goal? Can you truly put enough money away nowadays to thrive?
Yeah, that's our goal is to help our clients sleep well at night, which means we want to help them have the guarantees that they need as far as income goes, so that they've got income for the rest of their lives, regardless of what happens in the market. We also want to help them with their market-based accounts where they're not taking unnecessary risks they don't have to. You know, why would I want to wake up at night wondering if the market crash is going to affect my income if I can get it set up so it doesn't? And we're pretty successful in helping clients figure out ways to make sure that they can sleep well at night when they retire.
Okay, so I need to know, according to this texter, what is the biggest mistake you see? Because they don't want to make those mistakes. Or I'll go one further. What are the top 3 mistakes, or any amount of number you can come up with, that people make in retirement? What is something you say, oh, God, I wish you didn't do that? Or you talk to people who think they're doing something smart, and it turns out it's a big mistake. Give me some ideas of mistakes you see.
Well, probably the biggest challenge we face when folks come and see us is they come in with the bulk of their money in qualified plans and wonder, what in the world am I going to do now to derive income? So the first thing that has to happen...
But why is that a mistake if they have an IRA, a SEP, and
because
they have a 401k?
they're going to create a form of tax explosion, Tom.
Oh.
So if we can figure out how to avoid some of those taxes proactively along the way and begin to transfer some forms of their income and funds into accounts that create tax-free, non-reportable income, that's going to be a benefit to that client.
Now wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Now, if people keep money into 1 or 2 or 3 plans, and they turn 72, they're going to have to, by law, take a minimum distribution.
Yes, at 72, the required minimum distribution requires that the first year you take out 3.65% of whatever the account balance was on 12/30.
Is it likely that age could go up because of how people are living longer and making more?
Yeah, it actually, what they do is they take your life expectancy number of years and divide that by a factor, and that's what comes up with that formula. That's an IRS-driven.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, is it possible they could postpone minimum distribution to 74 or 75?
Don't know.
Okay. I mean, was it always 72?
No, it used to be 70 and a half.
Okay, and
then
how
with
long?
when we had
how
the
long ago did they raise it to 72?
When we had the COVID problem, that's when the government did that to relieve that tax burden for, in this case, a year and a half.
Okay, so it's 72 that you have to start taking it, and you're saying it can create erosion, meaning that if they have to start taking all of that, they're screwed because they're paying tax on all of that. But you said something I need to know. You said there's a way to convert it to something that would not, where you wouldn't pay tax, and I need to know that coming up. Hold on. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget realcbdthatworks.com. For pain, inflammation, anxiety. It's a great product, and you can get it for 30% off with Tom and the promo code. It's Panacea Life. realcbdthatworks.com.
Michael Brown here for the team at QC Kinetics. Are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or hips or back? Especially this time of year. You need to be moving pain-free, right? Well, QC Kinetics is helping people in my audience every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine, and they've told me how QC Kinetics has changed their lives. The science is simple. They concentrate your own body's healing agents, apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. This is the new, exciting, natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. Call 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986.
John Fuller and I have gone back many years where I send people to him, and I can tell you, they always tell me how pleased they are. He's an accident attorney I use as my expert on the show. And he can be your accident lawyer at myaccidentlawyer.co. And I want to ask him something straight up. John, one thing people have said, and I don't know if it's a misunderstanding, I think it is, they say, you know, I love hiring an attorney, and I'll go to Fuller, but I don't want to end up owing a lot of money if what he says doesn't come true, not because he lied, but because maybe he miscalculated. How do I protect myself from legal fees or expenses?
Yeah, hey, Tom, that's a great question. I hear that all the time, and here's the reality. When you hire me for your accident, there's never going to be a circumstance where you end up owing me all the money and you're going to get nothing. That's just mathematically impossible, and that's the benefit of working on a percentage fee or a contingency fee basis. We set our fees in advance as a percentage of the gross amount that we recover. And so no matter what, that can't be greater than the whole, and it can't be less than zero. It's just mathematically impossible that you could end up upside down as the client. So we've thought about that. In over 20 years of doing this, I've yet to have a circumstance where a client owed me money on a personal injury case, and we don't plan on starting today.
And John, what's really important is this. There's a difference between legal fees and expenses. How does that work out?
Oh, that's another great question. So expenses are things that we have to spend money on that are over and above fees. A good example in our cases is going to be things like getting a copy of the accident report or getting copies of medical records, or if a case goes into litigation, the actual filing fees for the court case and that kind of stuff with the court. So those expenses we advance on behalf of our clients, and then those will also come out at the end. So we're not going to send you an invoice along the way with any of those expenses. That's just something else that we advance on behalf of our clients.
John Fuller, he'll give you free information, and I don't mean free as in it's not worth anything. It's worth a lot. Valuable information, no charge, 303-597-4500. Listen, I know you're going to call around. Make John Fuller one of those calls, and you will see the difference. Smaller by design, personalized attention, myaccidentlawyer.co. You know someone else who gives personalized attention? And he'll rival John Fuller and Jay Brett's over at Excel Roofing and all of these people. I love them all. And he's right up there with him. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. You want to talk about personal attention. He'll call you in the evening. You'll think, what is he doing? 7 o'clock calling me about this and about that and about this. He's doing such a great job. Am I his only customer? I hear that all the time. 303-920-1622. And right now he'll do a full market analysis of your home on what it will sell for, given the inflation and given the rates of what they are right now. He'll go over with the facts and figures and measurements and comparables to make you feel comfortable. Whether you decide to list or not, there's no obligation. 303-920-1622. You know I have to get out of here at 1, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Tell Mark we'll take the shoulder for
Now,
you.
the good news is I don't have to be to my appointment until, let's see what time it says here. 1:45 check-in, so I'd say days.
Yeah, we'll walk out just before you. How's that?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, I have plenty of time to make it. I'm going to have to close up shopping. And I have to get the house ready for, let's see, tomorrow I have a car day. Hey, Kelly. If she can hear me. Oh, okay. I don't know why I don't have Kevin Calkins' number. So, I'll do those forms there, and they're only temporary, really, till the end of the year.
Yep.
Oh, I was going to look. I'm going to also send you any trust documents I have, and you can talk directly. I'll send David Salisbury. Let me see where it is. Oh crap! I know that I. Let's see, legal trust. I have some other investment I didn't tell you about because I don't know how to get rid of them really. I have oil well royalties. Here's my problem. I acquired them in different lots of acres and wells and permits.
It's not the size of the SUV in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the SUV. Learn more about the nimble and ready-for-anything Mercedes-Benz vehicle at MBUSA.com. That's MBUSA.com.
Reach out to Tom Martino and let your voice be heard. Call, text, and now talk back anytime with our free iHeartRadio app. While streaming KHOW and the full screen player, just click the microphone to record your message. Talk back to Denver's talk station now.
Gino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, let's talk to Mike. He has a comment on car warranties. He says never buy one, never buy a service warranty on an old car. And go ahead. What is your comment, Mike?
Tom, thanks for taking my call. You're completely correct. They're going to find some reason not to honor that warranty. And the time-tested advice for people looking at a warranty is to find out how much it costs every month and take that money and put it into a savings account and then use it for maintenance. And you're going to be money ahead by the time that warranty was up.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that call for sure. Now, listen, what I mean is older cars, they're going to find an exception. So don't say, well, I may not have enough money saved up. It doesn't matter. You're paying essentially for nothing with these plans. You are. I mean, they might. And also, listen to this. There's another clause you don't know about, and it says when the cumulative cost of repairs equals the market value of the car, you no longer have longer have protection. Think about that. Cumulative cost of repairs keeps going up, value keeps coming down. You have diminishing protection. They suck. They suck. They suck. People don't like me saying it, but they suck. And by the way, if you're looking to get your car repaired, always ask for old parts so you know if you needed it or not. And you're allowed, and it's your right to have old parts. Within reason, you don't want a big giant transmission or something, you know, with core charges. But then on the work order, put down not just what they're doing, but the symptom it should correct. Replacing this in order to correct rough idle. Then you can hold them to it if you got stuff you didn't need. Now remember, the old parts will tell you if you needed it or not, because sometimes there's more than one. Now, Lon, you have a question? Go ahead, Lon. What's happening?
Good afternoon. I live in a one. Hello?
I've got you, bro.
I live in one unit of a duplex in Brighton.
Yes.
And the neighbors next door have an exhaust fan in their front window that's exhausting a horrendous stench that drifts over to our front porch and makes it really impossible for us to even enjoy. And I'm looking for a recommendation of who I can talk to maybe get...
Well, how about them? Did you talk to them?
We have a really poor relationship with them next door. They've been there for 10 years. And
all right, some cities will allow you to, how do I put this? They will allow you to put in a complaint, and they will treat it much like a noise complaint when it comes to certain nuisances. Some won't. Some won't do anything about it. So, what is it that, what city are you in?
Brighton.
Brighton, okay. Have you asked Brighton, and you should, if that's considered a nuisance?
I have not.
That's one place to start. Believe it or not, there are some cities, they would enforce noise, they enforce odors, and lights. You know, we had one guy that put in a complaint about light pollution coming into his house from a dealership not far away. And they had to shield him from that light pollution. So, now, I'm not sure it'll help you. If it doesn't, Lon, there's really not much you can do unless it's a hazardous condition. There's really not much you can do.
I'm a little concerned because I know they have a young baby in there and they have a child there.
What are you smelling? What are you smelling?
Well, it's kind of hard to describe the smell, but I'd say it's a combination of rotten food, baby diapers, and animal waste. And I know.
Okay, well then you can call social services and really family services and say you suspect some problems, and tell them why. They'll inspect. They'll go there. It really you can. But I'm telling you, when you moved into a duplex where you both own it, isn't there a condominium agreement?
There is.
Okay. In that agreement, there should be something or any covenants or restrictions that address this.
Okay, I'll have to look.
And you should look, because they absolutely should address it. And then that would be a matter of law. You write them a demand letter or whatever, however the bylaws or the covenants outline it. Let me know. Let me know and call me back, and I'll take it from there. But I want to know first. I want you to look at your bylaws, your covenants, and then check with the city, and then, of course, family services or social services. Okay, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Thank you. Gary and Jairus, a Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. Now, we had a question. If you have some qualified plans, how do you avoid a tax explosion? You said, well, there's a way to put some of that money in places that you won't have as many taxes or as much. What do you mean?
Well, we would rather see, Tom, a client pay some tax as they go. So we can't completely, tax evasion is illegal.
Right, of course.
But tax avoidance is not.
Okay.
So what we would prefer the client do is, for example, I had an airline pilot a few years ago. As he retired, he was 10 years from retirement, so what we decided to do was to take his qualified plan, which we could do in his case, and we rolled that out over a 10-year period, paid some tax each year, and put it into an account that created completely tax-free, non-reportable income.
Wait, how though? How does it, why?
To avoid the tax explosion later on.
Why is it tax-free?
Well, certain provisions under the Internal Revenue Code, Section 7702, allows you to use certain forms of life insurance, that are overfunded that will then provide tax-free and non-reportable income.
Okay, because you're doing it by the form maybe of policy loans you don't pay back, and the death
Correct.
benefit covers them.
Correct.
So that is a possibility.
Oh, it's a big.
A lot of high
net worth people will use premium financing, where the banks pay the premium, they borrow the money, they'll pay it for 7 years, and then
wait. How does the bank get paid back?
Eventually, the policy owner will take the policy at some point down the road, probably year 15 or 20. So if I were putting $500,000,
What do you mean take the policy? You mean?
Well, let me explain it this way. If I were funding a policy at $500,000 a year with the bank, and that's the minimum we do,
wow,
we would turn around in year 15 or 20 and repay the $3.5 million loan. Now we encourage the client to pay
with the
cash value.
With the cash value, you'd have enough to pay back that loan, and you would still have a death benefit.
There would still be cash buildup at that point. In many cases, we just finished a case that would turn around and generate about $250,000 of tax-free income every year for the rest of the life.
Come on, and you use the bank to finance it.
It's leveraged money, correct?
But
there's collateral. You have to collateralize the loan.
Well, you have to be able to qualify for that $500.
Sure.
For the premium, but you could do less, $100 a year. You don't have to do $500.
We do clients that'll do 30. We do clients that'll do 300. Anywhere in between.
Incredible, seriously. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, and when they're not here, rpcenter.com. We have more coming up.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Leland Conway at 2, 630 KHOW, Denver.
Yeah. Loading it up right now. Loading it up. All right, so you've got the shit in the can for the final hour.
Wadsworth, accident on 6 at Potomac over near I-225 and a crash up on 120th at Sable. South of town, crash debris scattered across the 2 right lanes northbound I-25 between C470 and County Line Road. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, scattered thunder showers today and tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s. It's going to be sunny on Saturday, a high close to 90, and then more stormy weather with some rain on Sunday. Sunshine as we kick off next week, highs in the 80s. Right now it's 80 with your impact traffic and weather. I'm Dustin Ritchie, 630 KHOW.
Shop Labor Day savings at Lowe's. Eagle leaf blowers start at $199, are battery-powered and provide optimal performance. Plus, save $50 on a Char-Broil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill, now $299. Grill offer valid through 9/7 while supplies last.
Financing that premium, you have to collateralize it. Sheridan Auto Tech. That's the place you should take your auto to if you want heavy or light maintenance or repairs, or if you want someone just honest, ethical, treat you like family, or you need electrical repairs. They do it all at SheridanAutotech.com. 2 locations in Lakewood and Aurora, 303-455-7242. Someone I know and trust, and I've been sending hundreds of people to Kevin over at SheridanAutotech.com. Honesty, integrity, experience, knowledge, value, and convenience. 303-455-7242. Now, get this straight. I would have to pay interest, but what do you mean collateralize? What do you put up?
You got to have money in some kind of an account where you can assign the bank as a collateral assignment. So
for the entire amount?
No, the difference between the cash value. Go ahead, Jared.
The difference between the cash value and the policy and what the loan balance is. It's like, for example, we just had, here's, I don't know how much time you have.
Go ahead.
This is one we just did. They are doing a $500,000 per year loan, 2.95% interest. Here's the interest that they're paying each year.
Yeah, but so where do you get a one that low?
Is that what they ended up closing at? This was about 6 months ago.
Yeah, you're not going to get that anymore.
So now, yeah, you'll be paying around 5.
So it's a little bit more. But anyway, bottom line, you're paying the interest per year. This was showing them stopping interest payments after 7 years when the loan stopped and just using the cash value and the policy to cover the interest from then on. So the interest payment continues to be paid to the bank, but it's coming out of the cash value.
Or if you just wanted to take it there, and what would you be taking?
take income, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, this is on a younger client, so this is age 48. We showed them pulling income starting, I don't know if this one shows in, there's one that shows income.
But someone like me with a much shorter horizon, I wouldn't want to do it for 10 years. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
The most I would do it is 5.
You could go in fact, you could
Do I get to write off that interest?
No. You could single premium a contract and pay it in 1 year, and let it sit for 7 or 8 years, and then start income. Because you're past 59 and a half, as long as you have a measurable death benefit, you still won't pay taxes on the money. At the time, as long as there's a measurable death benefit at the time of your death.
You can't do that with qualified money, though.
No. You could do that, though.
There's no reason to, actually. So a one-time premium would it be less than a yearly premium for the same amount of policy?
The 1 year, whatever amount you stick in, we'll get the death benefit to match it. In other words, you identify the premium you want to pay, and we'll build the case. But lots of people will take money they're taking out of qualified plans that they don't need to live on. And they'll redirect that into a life insurance contract over a 4 or 5 or 6 year
period. Yeah, but if they did get out of there, they're paying tax on it.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're creating a pool of money that's going to be hugely tax-free later on. So, I mean, there's advantages, and there's timing to this, Tom. It does not fit everybody, but boy, it's a powerful tool to at least look at and dissect and consider. In your case, as you told us before, we're directing you one piece at a time because that's how you work.
Right. Yeah, right now I want to know what to do with all my qualified money. That's right. That's my first piece. The second piece,
we need to.
The second piece is.
I'm having a hard time getting a copy of that statement from Austin. Just so you know.
What statement?
Well, the one that shows all the accounts. I mean.
Okay, hold on, man. Hold on. I need to just log on and get it to you. I have since gotten my. Or I'll just give you the online.
Do you have account numbers for them? Because it looks like.
Hold on, I'll get them. Sure. I wish I didn't have. I wish we did this earlier. I could have gotten on and gotten it. Let me just find it. What did you? I'll let you see, Austin. Hold on.
It looks like you have a connection to their system, but there's no accounts in the thing that we sent you.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't pull them down. It doesn't pull them down.
So I can supply it. I might be able to supply an account number.
I'll tell you why. Because I have several accounts.
Right.
So when you have one login and several accounts, it doesn't. Your program doesn't know what to do.
So what we have to do is go put in each account number.
Okay, I'm gonna.
So I'll try that. And see
If I give you my login at Austin.
I don't want it.
Oh, you don't. Then.
No.
Okay, hold.
Try the safe and natural way to start feeling and looking your best. And there's nothing to lose with an industry-leading 90-day money-back guarantee. Visit andro400.com or call 888-400-0435.
Get a great rate on a 17-month CD. To learn more, visit belco.org/CD.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255, GarageMagic.com for your garage floors. And by the way, that's a lifetime warranty up and down the Front Range. Employees, no subcontractors. And it's a lifetime guarantee. You got to remember that on GarageMagic.com, a lifetime guarantee. The number is 720-600-HOME, 720-600-HOME. They do both commercial and residential. GarageMagic.com. Okay, so we've been talking retirement, and I also want to squeeze in here some updates, and I want to talk about Ernie's problem with an impounded car. So, Ernie, what's your issue with an impounded car and no title or whatever? Tell me what's going on real quick here.
Okay, yeah. Back on July 25th, I bought a Porsche car from my friend. It's a mechanic, and he does mechanic work.
So you bought a towaway?
No. His friend flips homes, and on this one particular property, there was 2 cars that were included in the house he bought. One was a Porsche, and I'm not sure what the other one was.
Okay, I got it. I get you. So go ahead.
Okay, just bear with me. Okay, so there is no title. The homeowner that owned the car is deceased. There's no title. So
Okay.
my friend's friend got a notarized bill of sale for the car and gave it to him. It needed a key, it needed tires, it needed brakes, and it needed suspension and battery.
Okay, the guy that died had a title, though. It had a clear title or not?
Correct. It was a clear title, but there was no title to pass forward. It was gone. They didn't know where the title was.
I know. It was a lost title, yes.
Right. Just a lost title, but we were getting it from the previous owner,
Gotcha.
the car. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, I had just come back, and I saw the car in my friend's house at the mechanic, and he sold it to me, but I had to do all the things. He got the key made, but I had put new tires, new brakes, new suspension, new battery. Okay. After I got the suspension fixed, I was parked in a park at Federal and 6th Avenue, and I put a plate on it just to move it from point A to point B because I was working on it. I didn't have a title yet to get it registered. Okay.
And what kind of plate did you put? What kind of plate did you put on it?
A good plate from my friend's car.
But it wasn't to that car.
No, it wasn't to that car. So bear with me here. So the police came into the park and asked about the plate, and I said I put it on because I'm moving it from point A to point B to get it worked on.
Right, but you weren't supposed to do that. It doesn't matter what your reasoning was.
Right,
it was the wrong way to do it. So what happened? Just get to the part.
Okay.
Did they impound it?
Yes, they impounded it. Now for 3 weeks, I've been doing everything they want me to do to get the to get a lost title, and I got insurance. I had the bill of sale, everything. And they said call Highway Patrol. I called the Highway Patrol, and the Highway Patrol tells me that the impound lot has a guy that can do verifications. So on Tuesday night, I went up there, and I said, hey, let me pay for that. He leaves at 2 o'clock every day. I gave him my name and my number, and I wanted to pay him the $50 to do it. So I come back on Wednesday, which was yesterday, and have it, and then I could go get a title and registration and get the car out. The same night that I was there to talk to that gentleman and give the $50, 20 minutes later, someone goes in there with a title and a registration and takes the car. Now, yesterday when I was in the impound lot, everybody in that office, everybody was around the window paying attention to what was going on. Now, I said, sir, nobody could come in there with a title and take that car because there was no title. And he said, oh, but the guy came in with a title. And I said, when was it registered? And he said it was registered in 2021. Well, the original registration for that car is in the glove compartment, and it hadn't been registered since 2019.
So here, let me just skip to this, Ernie. What do you think happened?
I know what happened.
What?
My mechanic friend has guys come over here and bring him motors and stuff. And he mentioned it to one of the tow truck drivers or somebody that we couldn't get the car out because we didn't have a title. He said, I can get you a title from DMV, $600. And I said to my friend, I said, no, we're going to do it legit. We're not going to be getting no fake titles or nothing. We're going to do it legit. So I know he went to DMV because this guy believes I couldn't get the car out. Went into DMV, whoever works there gave him a title, registered it. They went to the impound lot and took the car. Now, inside that car, I had German gold bonds, I had meteorites, I had pearls, I had a lot of $4,000 horse.
Why would you put all those valuables inside a car?
Because it'd be parked in the yard where I'm at.
Yeah, but it just doesn't make sense to me that you had. So how much worth of stuff did you have in the car? Not even the car. How much?
I can't even come up with a number. That's
okay, I'll come up. Was it Hold on, 500,000?
Well, one bond was one bond.
Just tell me. Just give me a number, Ernie.
At least $500,000.
Okay, you know what? You need to hire an attorney and you need to file a major lawsuit. If you have $500,000 at risk, come on, man. What kind of an idiot puts $500,000 in a car? Come on, man.
There were bonds in a suitcase in the car. Okay, I wasn't planning on the car getting impounded.
It doesn't matter. No one in the world. I would never leave $500,000 in a suitcase in a car.
Okay, well, the bonds I've had for 15 years because the courts weren't paying on them because...
Okay, then they were worth nothing. Don't say they were worth $500,000 then. Listen, Ernie.
10 years ago, one bond was worth $800,000.
Well, guess what, Ernie? Then why aren't you getting paid on them?
I got to go to J.P. Morgan in New York, and I haven't made that trip yet.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's... Guys, have you ever heard of bonds?
Some of them.
Were they bearer bonds? Were they bearer bonds?
No, they were German external loan bonds, Germany, 1924.
Those bonds could have expired or been called.
No, the courts weren't paying for them because it was 7% gold. Gold was $20 at 1924.
Okay. Ernie, I don't want to get into this.
$1,800.
You have more trouble than I know what to do with. Right now, if you want to get that car back, you don't even know where your stuff is. You don't even know who has the car, do you?
No, they do. They do. It's the DMV. They would not give me any information.
Hold on. The impound lot, did they have to record the title? Did they have to take a picture of it?
Yes, they've got a copy of it. They got the license of who came in and got it.
Well, you got it. You got to go through the courts. You have to go through the courts. You have to sue that impound lot for negligence or for something. You have to sue them. And then you have to take your bill of sale, make a lawsuit, and then through discovery make them give up the name. I mean, Ernie, there's no shortcut on this. If we call up these guys, they're not going to say, oh, yeah, here's the owner that came and got it. They're not going to do it. You need to sue them. Do you have money to sue?
Not really.
How much did you pay for the car?
$2,000.
How much did you have in that car? I mean, as far as improvements.
Okay, right. 500 was in suspension.
Okay.
400
Ernie,
tires.
honest to God, Ernie, I wish to God I could help you. I can't. This is so far gone right now. No, I'm serious, Ernie. You got yourself so much trouble. You have to prove so many things.
Trouble. Don't turn around and make it look trouble. I got robbed.
I know you did. That's why you have trouble.
Well, okay.
Do you call it not trouble that you have to go through a lawsuit to retrieve your property? That's a lot of trouble, Ernie. And you don't even know who really took it. You're suspecting who took it. It's obviously someone who heard you trying to get a title and they outsmarted you and got it first. That doesn't make me happy telling you this, but I believe that you could compel that shop or that impound yard in a lawsuit. You could compel them to give up the information. We have more coming right up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen.
We cleared out the accident westbound I-70 at I-25 and eastbound 6th. We cleared the crash after Sheridan. We're still pretty sluggish from Wadsworth. Accident on 6th at Potomac over near I-225 and a crash up on 120th at Sable. South of town, crash debris scattered across the two right lanes northbound I-25 between C-470 and County Line Road. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Scattered thunder showers today and tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s. It's going to be sunny on Saturday, a high close to 90, and then more stormy weather with some rain on Sunday. Sunshine as we kick off next week, highs in the 80s. Right now it's 80 with your Impact Traffic and Weather. I'm Dustin Ritchie, 630 KHOW.
DQ presents how to experience the new DQ Reese's Take 5 Blizzard. First, see and smell the Reese's peanut butter cups, caramel, peanuts, and pretzels. Sweet top notes. And finally, taste it. The new Reese's Take 5 Blizzard. DQ, happy tastes good.
All right, let's talk about John Fuller, Fuller Law. I've said it before, he's smaller by design. That means what he does is he takes cases, both small, medium, and larger cases, as he says, he doesn't know what they're going to be at the time. They could be small, medium, or large. That's why he works them all equally. And he wants you to know that because what he will do is make sure that yours is handled with dignity and respect. And, by the way, what he'll do is make sure he does it personally and give you his cell phone number. You can reach him at 303-597-4500. And what that means is you can call him and get updates, or he'll keep you updated. Remember, this firm is different, and you'll feel the difference when you call. Now, I know you'll call around to other attorneys. Make sure you call My Accident Lawyer, or look them up at myaccidentlawyer.com. myaccidentlawyer.co, 303-597-4500. Do you want to get a price on the phone for your kitchen cabinets and your countertops? You can do that only with the Art of Granite. Yes, they'll give you a price on the phone. That's because they do business in a very simple way. Wholesale on all counter materials, whether man-made or natural stone. They do it all. And they do wholesale in their yard in Golden. You can go see them, West Colfax and I-70, or you can just call them and get your price first. And here's what they'll do. They'll take care of you and give you the price and wholesale on all materials. Tear out and haul away is free, and the bathroom's free when you do the kitchen. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919.
Is your dental
trying to get into Austin. I wish I would have done this earlier for you. I mean, I could have. Have you heard of Austin Capital before?
Mm-hmm. I don't know a lot about them.
They've been pretty good to me, but I don't like the access to this website's a pain in the ass. But look, I'm in. So. Okay, now. Here it is. Now, I don't know what you want or what I can get you. But this is total relationship, and then I don't know. I don't know what this means. What are you looking at?
The account number right here.
Okay, that's just for that individual. I have all these account numbers. So go. You here? Just take here. Look at this. Let me show you that. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to give this to you. Hold on.
The same thing?
Yeah, you do it then. You do it, and then you'll have it. Just do it, and then you'll have it. Make sure you can read it. Now, can you get into that portal you gave me? Can you get into it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so will you be able to put stuff in there? Because I can't get it to work, and we don't have time to do that right now, so we'll have to get together again.
I thought it would let me plug your account numbers in.
Nope. I tried it.
No unlinked accounts.
It has no way. When it has a login and you have multiple accounts, it has no way of just.
What website is that? Client.
Now here's the thing, man. If I tried to even enter this more than once, and for each one have a different, you can't. There's just no way it will let you. And I need a central portal for everything. This is not. I wish this was it. I wish there was. Can you call those people that run this thing and ask them how you do a complicated? I can't be the only one with multiple accounts in a platform.
No, I've never seen this actually happen with anybody. So it might be something on the Austin Capital end where they're like maybe there's another login. I don't know. Maybe there's some like extra layer that we got to go through.
So what I want to know is what do I'd love to give you all this shit. I just don't know what to do. Here's balances. Is that what you, oh no records found. I don't even know what that means. Financial summary. Now I don't even know what I did wrong. Okay. So here's portfolio, but I wonder if I can print this out. Can I print this whole damn thing out? Oh, I can download this. You want this whole thing?
Yeah, that'd be
Let me just see. Hold on. Castle Rock to Longmont, Plumline's got you covered. Earning your trust since 1998. Character and ethics. Service at home. Servants at heart. Schedule online. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. PlumlineServices.com.
It's the Dan Capla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
President Biden saddles taxpayers with student loan debt forgiveness, and Trafalgar shows Heidi Ganahl and Joe O'Dea within striking distance of their Democratic opponents. Christy Burton Brown breaks it all down, filling in for Dan, starting at 4 right here on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Marty, Smarty Marty, you have some updates? What are they, sir? We're running out of time. What are they?
I'll make them real quick. We got Kenneth Avora with Big Dog Solar, where he purchased a solar system back in 2016.
Yeah.
And Big Dog, okay. So this solution is very simple. I spoke with Big Dog. They said they don't service that area any longer. He has to find another company.
Was this more? No, this wasn't Maurice. I'm sorry. This was.
Well, the case is recent, but he purchased this.
No, I mean, who was the person? What was the person's name?
Kenneth Evora.
Kenneth. Okay. Kenneth.
Kenneth against Big Dog Solar.
Got it.
I didn't get a slug name. For the last few cases, there are no slugs.
Got it.
But,
I got it.
So Colorado Springs is where he lives. And does Genesis service that area?
I don't know if they do, and I think they only service. Hold on, I think they only service what they install.
Okay, so in any event, I went ahead and contacted one of our other solar companies that I had good luck with.
But this guy said this was never serviced correctly, Marty. So never fixed correctly from the beginning. I don't know how true that is. It was done in 2015, for goodness sakes.
That's correct. Well,
I don't think it's reasonable. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, he went and switched companies, and in any event, their position is they don't service that area any longer. They don't have anybody there. So
and besides, it was struck by lightning. I don't even think it was their fault.
Okay. In any event, he wants a solar company to come out.
We have to find a solar company that does service, and I don't know of any. Huh?
We have one from the past, and I contacted him, and he does service the area, so I gave him the contact.
Did he say he would go out?
Yeah, One Solar. The company is One Solar. We've had them before. We've had cases with them before, and I spoke with my contact there, and he said he services there.
Well, that's good. That's really good. Okay. We're running out of time. Smarty Marty, we'll do the other updates tomorrow if we can. Anyway, 303. Okay. Oh, I won't give the number. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's the number for Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. When they're not around here, they're at 970-663-3211. 970-663-3211. rpcenter.com. All right, folks. You can hang on. Right after this, more coming.
Kenny Mayne here with this declaration for new Caesars Sportsbook app users from Caesar. Your first bet's on us, is what Caesar told me to say. That means if you don't win, you get up to $1,250 back as a free bet. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app and sign up with the code RADIOFULL.
Open to new users in Colorado who are 21 or older. If qualifying bet loses, bet amount returned as a credit. Must use within 14 days. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-522-4700.